turning 250, and it's time to rock out with our forefathers. American-made, battle-ready style for true patriots. Whether you're marching in the parade, grilling in the backyard, or raising a toast to liberty, do it in the gear that screams freedom. Celebrate 250 years of USA in style. Wear your American pride loud. Trendjackers.etsy.com. Grab yours before the fireworks.
Okay, good idea.
They just go with the flow. It's the Hershey and Keegs Show.
Welcome to Hershey and the Keegs Show, starring pitcher Mark Hirschman and his personal catcher, Mike Keegan. Every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live from the Governor's Comedy Club radio studio. Thanks so much for listening.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday night, 9 p.m.
Yeah.
It is the Hershey and the Keegs Show. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to have a show. It's Mike Keegan, Mark Hirschman, Tony Walker. And, yeah, how we doing, boys?
Dude, you almost broke into song there.
I did.
Yeah.
I felt whimsical.
You felt whimsy, for sure. I like that.
Chris Roach is here. We're hanging out. We're all...
Don't talk about him, though.
I love him.
It's interesting. Tony had contacted me. I didn't even tell you, but around 8:15, it looked like there was some technical difficulties. They're not able to get Roach's show on the air
I
tonight.
saw Tony post that on Facebook.
Yeah.
I was going to write, please do not let Mark Hirschman see this.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. I called Tony, and I just had a feeling it was going to work out for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but things
things just work out.
For you.
No, things just work out, and
on your podcast?
yeah.
Sometimes. Yeah, Mark does. I don't really. I'm not a
Fuck you guys. Check first.
Roach is dropping obscenities. Mark likes to curse. I don't really curse that much.
Yeah, we're not big cursors, but we already the phone's ringing. It's like it's already the most popular thing. But I just had a feeling it was going to work out. So Roach,
that was the FCC.
Roach and his show.
That was Kevin James. Like, I thought you were clean. I thought you worked clean.
They call it the psychology of fuckery. It was not able to be aired tonight, unfortunately. But they'll be back next week, hopefully. And we got Jake Assman from ESPN Radio and Sirius Radio. He's
Nice.
popping on in a couple of minutes. You know what, Tom? Maybe we'll, in the interim, we'll run a couple of sponsors real quick. You want to just bang that out of the way before he shows up?
Whatever you want.
The Hershey and the Keegs Show is brought to you by Sophia Jewelry at 134 Gardner's Avenue, right here in Levittown, specializing in diamonds and vintage jewelry. Go see Omid for all of your buying and selling of jewelry and mentioning Hershey and the Keegs for a free appraisal. I was in the store on Saturday.
I heard.
Phenomenal stuff. Omid is a terrific guy and really wonderful stuff. I highly recommend you stop by and see Omid. We, of course, have Dr. Kimberly O'Connor, a Platinum Chiropractic. She is a fully dedicated providing chiropractor solutions to address your unique needs, whether they're experiencing back pain or neck pain or headaches or muscle tightness or tension. 516-935-3555, right downtown Hicksville. Dr. Kimberly O'Connor is the place to go. We have the fine folks over at New View Construction. They're established in 2007. They're the people to call for the finest craftsmanship and all of your general contracting needs. Call 516-924-5627 and do it with confidence. And of course, we have American Restoration Solutions. When disaster strikes, and you know it will, Mike, more than anybody, they'll guide you to recovery. Call 516-662-9377 and ask for Senior Account Manager Keith Dunn, because he will get the job
Done.
Get her done.
Get her done.
That's right.
I gave him that tag.
You
He
did.
told
You
me he
did.
can use
and
it.
the other cowboy
the
comic.
other guy, I told
Yeah.
him he could use that too.
With no further ado, perfect timing, we have our friend Jake Assman on the air with us. Hello, Mr. Jake. How are you, sir?
Tony, how are you?
There's Tony Walker, our
Excellent.
producer.
Yeah.
I'm Hershey. This is the Keegs. We got so much sports to talk with you about.
Lot going on.
I just want to hit on a little Jake Assman biography, which I did not know until the crack research staff found out that you were born and raised in Syosset. Is that correct?
That is correct. That's right. Strong Island, baby.
Long
Are
Island
you
boy.
still a Syosset guy, or you've been removed for a while?
No, I live in the city now, but parents moved out of Syosset probably close to 10 years ago already.
Okay.
So, but me and my brother went to high school, all throughout our senior year and whatnot. So,
Wow.
it's still, where I consider home pretty much, even though my parents don't live there anymore.
So where I live in Levittown. Mikey lives in East Meadow.
I live in East Meadow, too.
The club is in right here in Levittown. My buddy Chris is the owner of Chris and Tony's restaurant over in Syosset. So
great place.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
I love
you know
that
that
spot.
very well. A really great Long Island story. Syosset, Ithaca, and then at the ripe old age, I think you just turned 30. Is that correct, Jake?
Yeah, you guys have a good research team.
Yeah, happy birthday. I mean, the fact is ESPN Houston and Sirius Radio, and I believe you're on Sports Map Radio every day from 9 to 11. How did
Not
this
anymore.
happen?
No, that ended years ago.
Yes, perfect. Good job, crack staff.
There's always one research team.
There's always one tidbit. But how did this happen?
The main job is YouTube. I do the Jet YouTube show every day, and then I'm on ESPN New York, and then I also host on Mad Dog. Sports Map Radio, funny enough, it doesn't exist anymore. It's dead. That was originally SB Nation Radio. So when I moved down to Houston, it was to work for SB Nation Radio and ESPN 97.5. They were owned by the same parent company. So my first foray into being a full-time on-air host was working for SB Nation, which folded, to Sports Map, which folded. So it is a mess of a operation, but it was a great experience nonetheless.
So, little kid growing up in Syosset goes to Ithaca, and at the ripe old age of 30 has interviewed Namath and Montana and John Daly and Gary Vaynerchuk and, of course, Mike Keegan's favorite, the Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys, you know me.
Did you ever picture yourself as a little kid in this position? I mean, where did you picture yourself at this point in your life?
I never would have thought it would be, kind of how the business has changed, where I'm no longer a full-time radio person. I'm a full-time YouTuber or content creator, however you want to describe it.
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to do something on air, though. I still consider myself like a radio person at heart. You've seen the YouTube show. It's basically a radio show that happens to be on video, take a lot of calls, read comments as if that'd be like a text line or getting tweets to a show. I still, a lot of times, if I don't have a guest that show, we'll do a monologue before getting the call. So there's a lot of radio elements to it. So I knew I always wanted to do something in sports talk, sports opinion. I never could have imagined, though, actually being able to do a YouTube show predominantly covering one football team and a team that has been an abomination for 15 years, pretty much. So it just speaks volumes of how passionate the fan base still is. And pretty cool to be able to do it and kind of build the community that we've been able to do.
So just to give you a little navigation of what kind of fandom you have here. So Tony, our producer, is a Jet fan for 40 plus years. I'm a diehard Jet fan as well. And my buddy Mike Keegan over here is a Bills fan, but we're gonna go easy on him because his girlfriend of 8 years, they broke up this week, so he's having a rough time of things.
It's been a week,
so we're gonna not go too hard on the Bills fan today. Let's start. I mean, geez, we happen to be getting this guy on the air in the middle of so much stuff sports wise. Let's talk about something that's been predominant on this show for the past couple of weeks. Obviously, the Jets are on a two-game winning streak, but I'm fixated, and you may be as well, with the condescending, disrespectful attitude that our former Jet legend, current head coach Aaron Glenn, seems to take with the media on a daily basis, from snubbing them about information of the quarterback to questioning the legitimacy of Rich Cimini today. Like, can you just touch a little bit about how you feel about Glenn and what's going on with his tact with the media?
I don't understand why he goes out of his way now to be so combative with guys just trying to do their jobs. Like, these questions aren't like gotcha questions. They're not trying to, go after him when they easily could. He's 2-7. He acts like he's, Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick. He doesn't want a thing. Like,
they're asking about injuries.
Injuries.
Yeah,
that's it.
I mean, these are just simple questions, and the reason why the media asks these questions is because if they don't ask the question, then the fans don't have the answers. And it's not like we're asking for you to spill the beans on your game plan, Aaron. We're asking you to reveal who your starting quarterback is, and if he doesn't want to answer that question, there's a way to word it where it's not so combative. Instead of saying, I know who my quarterback is, but I'm not going to tell you, I don't have to tell you guys. If he simply came out and just said, for example, hey, I'm not going to share who my quarterback is. My staff and I are still deciding. We're not going to say anything. You'll see what happens on game day. If he just worded it differently or just said, hey, we haven't made a decision yet, or look, you guys might think this is crazy, but we're trying to get whatever competitive advantage we can get. We're taking on a great Patriots team Thursday. We need all the help we could get. Like, if he just
That's the answer. That's what I said. Exactly.
Jet fans would be like, I get it, love it. Yeah, like, way to not help the media out. Like, because no one wants to root for the media here, but he's turning people that, like, don't like guys that have been on the Jets beat for a while and being like, really, dude? Like, why are you being an a-hole over questions that aren't that bad? They've been pretty easy with him, and he's gone out of his way to try and be combative, and I just don't think it plays when you're 2-7.
The thing that really pissed me off today, and I've been a Jet fan since 1970 something. Rich Cimini is not a guy who came on the beat yesterday. He's been around for a long time. We've all been following him and reading him for forever. And if he's reporting that Garrett Wilson is going to be out 3 to 4 weeks due to an injury, he's not just pulling this out of his ass. This came from somewhere. So for Glenn to take the tact of, well, you guys just ask Rich. No, you can just go ahead and handle that a little bit of a different way and not try to, shitbag one of the best reporters that we've seen in New York over the past 40 years. You agree with that?
Rich is someone that I think does a great job covering this team. He has seen everything that this team has basically put out there on the field in the last 40 years. If he is, reporting that Garrett Wilson's out 3 to 4 weeks, he's obviously right. He obviously probably got that from not even someone with the Jets, but someone in Garrett Wilson's camp, his agent, his manager, someone. I think today Glenn was just annoyed that it got out there, and he's annoyed that Rich is right. It's not. If you listen to Glenn today, it's not like he said it's not true. He just flipped out and played the game of, oh, why don't you ask Rich? Yeah. It's a silly thing to be upset about. There's only going to be more stories, and the more combative he is, the more the reporters are going to dig for other stories. They're going to, talk to disgruntled employees. Glenn's going to make staff changes at the end of the year. Those reporters are going to talk to those fired coaches who are going to love to say bad things about their ex-boss. We saw this in the Athletic pieces all last year. And who do you think these sources were that the Athletic was speaking to? They're speaking to Saleh, Douglas, Rex Hogan. They're speaking to Mike LaFleur. All these guys talk because they get an opportunity to then dunk on their former employer. That's what's coming. I don't think Glenn realizes that by going out of his way to be so combative, it's only going to hurt him in the long run if he doesn't win. And right now at 2-7, I mean, you guys are Jet fans, besides one of you. Like, what have you seen from this team that tells you this is going to turn around this year? Forget next year. Like, this to me is going to get ugly and only uglier as we keep going.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they played against, the Browns are just terrible. The Bengals had an awful collapse that day. And something that Keegs said to me yesterday, we were talking about it. It's the head coach's job to insulate the environment to make sure that the stuff doesn't get out. Just like nothing ever would get out with Belichick or Parcells. That's your job. So once again, he's failing at his job and he's pissed off at the media. Well, the media is not the enemy. The media, their job is to be the kind of liaison between the fans and the coach. And we're finding out from him what's going on, and he's just looking to shut the media down, and he's looking to shut us down
but that's
too.
it. Yeah, that's him talking to us. Well, not us, you guys. That's him talking to the fans. Like,
absolutely.
Oh, you don't deserve to know this information.
Right.
I'm combative towards you because you're the ones that really are asking the questions.
So if we don't deserve it, then why should we even pay to buy tickets? You know,
it's a silly battle that serves no purpose. It really, and it's also on the Jets' public relations staff to try and get home to him that this is not a good thing, what he's doing. And if they're allowing it, that's a problem. My new thing is I think they're intimidated by him. Now, I think they're afraid to say anything to him. Because there's just no way this is a good thing for the Jets. I'm watching ESPN today, and in the 6 o'clock Sports Center, the Jets are in one of the first blocks, and it's because they play the video of Glenn and the Samini thing that we're talking about.
Right,
That's
I
not
saw
making
that.
The 6 o'clock Sports Center national story if Aaron Glenn just went up there and acted like 31 other coaches would have acted if they were being asked the same questions. Like you're bringing extra attention on you, and you're 2-7. You're
Right.
putting the Jets in the headlines for negative things. And this is a guy who said he wants to block out the noise. Well, he seems to have quite the rabbit.
He's bringing
ears.
the noise.
He's bringing the noise. And, you know, it's interesting. Wilbon and Kornheiser had it as a feature on their show today. It was all over the place, and it shouldn't be. The focus should be on bringing wins to this team, and I think they're going to wind up 3 or 4 win total, and I'm not happy about it. But, I'm glad you're on the same page with us. Speaking of New York coaching issues, your level of surprise that the Daboll firing happened mid-season.
I don't think I'm shocked because once you start hearing some of the rumblings that he almost got fired after the Broncos game, and then you follow that up with another loss to the Eagles where you get killed, and then the way they collapsed against the Bears where Dart is hurt and he's been evaluated for a concussion and basically every one of his starts, I think that was the final nail in the coffin. I'm more surprised that Joe Shane is staying on. I think that's ridiculous, but Daboll getting fired in season, I can't say I'm shocked. We knew that he was going to get fired. The writing was on the wall. You're 2-8 for the 3rd straight year. Shane keeping his job is what surprised me more than anything, not Daboll losing it mid-season.
I don't think he'll make it to the next season, though,
Right.
Shane.
I think Mike's right about that. And I think that you're more apt to fire a GM after the end of the season as opposed to in-season because there's still in-season transactions and players moving from the practice squad. So I don't think he'll survive. But then again, if he's in charge of hiring the coach,
Well, that's what
maybe he will be.
That's what it is. Shane's in charge of staff changes. They're not going to keep him around.
Yeah. I don't know how you feel about this, but I was getting a little bit pissed off over the past couple of weeks. The Daboll defenders, were saying, well, he helped develop Jackson Dart. Maybe Jackson Dart's just a really good player. Like, we have to give Daboll credit for Jackson Dart. He was a great kid coming out of college. He was a first-round draft pick. Why does the credit have to go to Brian Daboll about that?
Yeah, look, he can get credit for being the guy to really, vouch for him in the, in the draft. Say that's the guy I want. That's all fine. He gets credit for how he plays, but it doesn't that's not enough for him to save his job when you look at the full body of work. I mean, this is not just a year of bad football. The Giants have been a mess for a long time, and Brian Daboll in particular. They were basically out of people that he could blame, right? How many different position coaches and coordinators is he going to run through, right? Like, this team has been a mess. I don't think it helps Daboll that, Daniel Jones leaves and he's having the best year of his life with a different team, right? Daboll's supposed to be the quarterback genius. You look at his record with quarterbacks not named Josh Allen, it's abysmal. The only quarterback he's ever worked with that he has a winning record with, either as a head coach or offensive coordinator, is Josh Allen. I'm not going to count Matt Barkley's 1-0 in his only ever start under Daboll, right? So, like I think the idea that he's this offensive genius is wildly overblown,
Yep.
and I think the Giants had no choice but to move on. It felt like he lost the team. How many times are you going to have the lead and collapse in the fourth quarter? I mean, they're 0-4 in games they led by 10 or more on the road this year. That's insane.
So, for those who aren't watching, and I know Keegs is because he's a diehard Bills fan and watches every game, Josh Allen's been pretty good the past few years without people.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like MVP, like getting to big
Yeah,
games.
yeah,
So
I mean-
I think Josh Allen's just fine without Brian Daboll.
I was saying at first, I'm just like, Josh Allen struggled a little bit after Daboll left, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, it was all Daboll, and I'm like, no, still pretty good.
He's still pretty good.
Still pretty good without
right?
Daboll.
He's still pretty good, Jake.
Yeah. I mean, I gladly would trade Justin Fields for him. That's for sure.
So, I was on with Boomer and Gio yesterday morning, and one of the things I said, and Boomer agreed with me, is that yesterday, or Sunday, I should say, was the first time in all the years of watching Daboll's pressers, post-game pressers, where he seemed resigned to the fact that he was losing his job this week.
Yeah.
That he knew it. He usually has some smart, and not condescending like Glenn, but he usually has some pointed answers and, how we're going to fix this. And he just had his head down with this somber look like, you know what? This is a pathetic loss, and it's another pathetic loss that I don't think I'm going to survive. And he was right. He saw it coming.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought the same thing watching it live, and I just think he knew, right? Like, he obviously knew the reports about how close he was to losing his job after the Broncos fiasco, and Dart was the one thing that maybe could have saved his job, right? Dart playing well, check, but they had to get some wins, and they just had too many of these collapses, so I think he knew. And, it was irresponsible, the type of plays they called for Dart as well. I mean, I think Dart led the NFL in design quarterback runs, and he hasn't even started the whole year, right? So that's just completely irresponsible for a guy who's been in the protocol basically every game. So
Right.
I think he knew at that point. I think you're right. And look, I don't think he, is a bad guy or he's terrible. It didn't work, and it wasn't all him. I think Joe Shane is responsible for this as well, and that's why he might be the GM for now, but
Not for long.
if I'm the Giants, I'm not letting him pick the coach. I mean, they said that he's going to oversee the coach search process, so that would concern me. Like, maybe you're right and he gets fired, but I'm not sure. I mean, we could see a Jacksonville Jaguars situation where what's his name, the GM, no one wanted to take the job if they had to work with him, so eventually they had to fire the GM just so Liam Cohen would say, "Yep, I'll take the job." So maybe we see that, but I don't understand if you're getting rid of Dable how you could possibly keep Joe Shane.
Yeah, I don't see them keeping Kafka around, but I think it's a pretty coveted job for next season,
Oh,
though, because
jeez.
you have a young stud quarterback, you have a generational wide receiver, and Malik Neighbors.
Yep.
Yeah, they're going to get another wide
Scatterbo,
receiver.
you're getting back.
You got probably the best draft pick this year with Scatterbo. What is it,
Yeah.
eighth round
Yeah,
Scatterbo?
fourth,
And
fifth round.
kid's-
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
The kid's a stud. And then, it's going to be a coveted job for next season. So I think, I don't know.
I agree totally with Mike on that. The last thing about Daboll, certainly to be able to call him a quarterback whisperer and then have his quarterback literally smashing his head every single game. Like, slide, man. Teach the kid how to slide. That's it. Like, if you don't teach your kid how to slide, you're not going to have a Jackson Dart. He'll be out of the league in 3 years. So I don't think he did a great job with that, and it frustrated me a little bit because I like Daboll, and he was a coach of the year his first season, and he definitely has the ability to coach. There was just some sort of disconnect that was happening this season that there was no way, as much as they wanted to keep him, they could have, and it's over, and we'll put that to bed. I want to hit on a couple other topics because I believe the crack research team will check on this, but I happen to be a diehard Jet, Yankee, Knick, and Islander fan, and I think you might have the same superfecta. Is that correct?
You said Yankee, Jet, Nick, and Islander. Wow,
Yeah.
we're a rare combo because
Yes.
people I meet never have all four.
That was I've been so since so just to give away my age a little bit, I started out falling in love with the Yankees and Greg Nettles in 1977, 78. I was a Clark Gillies #9 junkie in obviously the late 70s, early 80s. Knicks, Ernie Grunfeld, going back that far, and Jets. Any good player you can think of, which the Altoon, yeah, a little bit later on, but as far as the Knicks are concerned, and we talked a lot about this when it happened. I said after the Game 1 Indiana disgusting defeat that I thought that Thibs could lose his job, and when it came down, I was not shocked about it. I wasn't in love with Mike Brown, and now I think I'm turning the corner. How do you feel about the whole Thibs to Mike Brown exchange?
I'm like you. I didn't want the Knicks to get rid of Thibodeau. I felt like he deserved another year with this group. The Cat trade was made, the day before training camp. They got to the conference finals. I felt like they should have gave him one more year. That said, it's tough to criticize Mike Brown, but at the same time, Mike Brown's not going to be judged on anything that happens in November through April. He's going to be
Right.
judged on what the Knicks do in May and hopefully June. Like that's the only way to know if it was the right move. Obviously, there's context, injuries change expectations and all that, but assuming the Knicks are healthy going into the playoffs, anything short of getting to the NBA Finals this year is going to be a massive disappointment. You can't fire Tom Thibodeau off your best season in 25 years and not expect the team to take a step forward. And I think the roster is better than it was last year. The bench is way deeper. I think you look at this team, it's another year of them being able to play all together as far as the starting five. You look at the rest of the conference, right? And it's right there for the Knicks. I mean, Boston doesn't have Tatum. Indiana doesn't have Halliburton. You look around the Eastern Conference, I think the Knicks are the best team in the conference. Now they got to prove it, but anything short of getting to the finals, I think, would be a massive disappointment for a team that just fired their coach coming off their best season in 25 years.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. But looking back on it, that game when Indiana lost, they should have beaten Indiana. I don't know if they would have gotten through
That was
OKC,
brutal.
but
That was awful.
they should have gotten through. And at the time, and the media, certainly as a media member, this. Sometimes they put out things and they make it their agenda. They were talking about it was Dolan who made the call, and it was all Dolan. And I suspected, and I turned out to be right about this, that it was not Dolan, that it was the locker room, that the locker room decided in their end season meetings with Leon Rose that they needed to be a change. And it wasn't Leon Rose because those two go back for 35 years. It wasn't Dolan. This was I don't know if it was Brunson, but from what I hear, it could have been more Cat, could have been more Josh Hart. So I think that in retrospect, it had to be done. And I'm starting to like the Mike Brown thing. I'm starting to like listening to him, and I like the philosophy that he's spreading the ball around. There's no dead ball. It's not just stopping with one player. They're moving the ball. What do you think about that, Jake?
Look, I think all that is fair. We just got to see it play out a little longer because I think Thibodeau was a really good coach. He got the most out of guys.
Yeah.
And but I'm not I like Mike Brown. He's a very successful coach in this league. I just think the knock on Thibodeau was he doesn't play his bench, right? Well, Thibodeau never had a bench this good that what Mike Brown has.
That's right.
Jordan Clarkson, Yabusele off the bench, Mitchell Robinson if they want to have him off the bench or Hart. I just think this team is better. And look. If the players felt like Tibbs, they went as far as they could go with him. I'm not in these exit meetings. I don't know what was said, but I just felt like they should have given him this year. But look, I'm a Knicks fan, so I hope I'm wrong. I hope Mike Brown's great and he takes him to the finals because I still think no matter what, that's got to be the goal. And I think they can do it, but I also think they could have done it if they kept Thibodeau. But you know what? If the Knicks do end up getting to the NBA Finals, they end up winning a championship with this core, Tom Thibodeau should get a ring because none of this happens without him resurrecting the franchise when him and Leon Rose came in 5 years ago together.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that we look back at Thibs as we look back at Gene Michael and Buck Showalter with their early to mid '90s Yankees, where there was no '96 Yankee team without Showalter and Michaels and the building of O'Neal and all those key players. So I totally agree with you. I hope that's going to happen, and we'll find out in 6 months.
Yeah, 100%. Look, the bottom line is, no matter what happens, I will always love Tom Thibodeau. I mean, this guy took over a team that was a laughingstock. They were like a 20-win team, and they became a team that went to the playoffs right away. They made the playoffs in 4 of his 5 years. They won a playoff round each of the last 3 that he was there. Without Tom Thibodeau, does Jalen Brunson develop into the player he was, or does Julius Randle become the player he was in the first place to allow you to have the ability to trade him, to make the deal for Karl Anthony Towns, right, to put yourself in position where you're developing, Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett so you could get OG Anunoby. So
right.
Tibbs' impact on development and guys having the best season of their lives under him allow Leon Rose to be able to wheel and deal, and he deserves credit for all this.
Yeah,
together.
It's really a fantastic point. Unfortunately, we're in the cauldron of media here in New York, and ultimately the media and the fans just want that ring. They want the championship. So yes, you kind of, what have you done for me lately? And the stink of that loss against Indiana was just so intense that I just think he couldn't survive it. And we'll see. I want to transition quick to speaking of hoops, the biggest hoops news, and I texted you earlier to make sure that there's something you wanted to talk about. But the firing of Nico Harrison today, obviously the Mavericks GM, who is best known for arguably one of the worst trades in the history of sports, in my opinion. What's your take on the firing of Nico Harrison today by the Mavericks?
It should have happened the second he came to the owners and said, "Hey, let's trade Luka Doncic." I mean, come on, absolute joke. You feel for Mavs fans, like the fact that trade happened. Still, it just blows my mind. It's mind-boggling. And look, he should have been fired at the end of last year. He should have been he never should have been employed the second he was serious about trying to trade Doncic. So I'm not surprised. It felt like the situation was to a point where it was untenable there. The File Nico chants were only going to get louder and louder as the Mavs continue to get off to this brutal start. I understand they have Cooper Flagg, and maybe he ends up being a great player. He probably will, but they traded the top 5 player in the league who took them to the finals the previous year. And the biggest issue I had with the trade, beyond the fact you traded Luka Doncic, is the fact that they apparently didn't call other teams. They had this deal only with the Lakers. And look, it's ridiculous to want to trade Doncic, but you can't tell me that that's all you would have been able to get Anthony Davis and not more picks if you didn't call around and say, "Hey, top 5 player in the sport, he's available. Who wants him?"
It's irresponsible.
Yeah, it's just like you have this unbelievable asset. If you're going to think about moving them, you need to let everyone know so you could get everyone's best offer. That was not the best offer they could have had if they actually wanted to move Doncic.
The Nets got more for Mikal Bridges than Luka Doncic was traded for. I mean, it's absolutely lunacy.
And Anthony Davis is made out of glass. So yes, you got a great player in the deal, but come on, man. Anthony Davis is what, 33, 34 now?
Yeah, he's 33.
He's hurt. He got hurt immediately after they acquired him, too, which is of course. So, yeah, I mean, look, I don't root for guys to lose their jobs, but, that was a fireable offense the second he suggested the trade. The fact that he got to keep his job for almost a year later is crazy.
So, I have an interesting take on this, and I mentioned to you that my son, who's now 15, Max, but at the time when this happened, we were at a Mavs-Knicks game right after Porzingis got traded, and I actually got a chance to meet Mark Cuban, and my son met Mark Cuban, and we spoke for a while, and my son's been a diehard Mavs fan ever since then. I think that there has to be some responsibility pointed right off the bat. We have to talk about Mark Cuban giving up his control of this team. Yes, he wanted to sell. I can't imagine it was money driven, but the fact that he claims that he's a Mav for life and he loves the Mavs so much, and then he went ahead and made this move. I think there's got to be a little responsibility on his part as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, he apparently didn't find out about the deal until after it happened, but it's really? I don't know. I just, once again, every aspect of him being traded, it's wild to comprehend. And I said this to Mike Tannenbaum during our radio show the other day. We were talking about Joe Burrow and whether or not he'd be traded. And I'm thinking to myself, well, if Luka Doncic could be traded, I can't sit here and say it's ridiculous for anyone to be traded anymore. So, yeah. I mean, it really changed sports.
Yeah, anyone can be traded. Ultimately, I think that the biggest amount of blame, this guy Dumont is an absolute clown to me. The fact that he gets off scot-free here saying, well, we hope you come back. We're sorry that, the fortunes took a turn of the franchise. Dumont had the 100% ability to say, dude, you're freaking crazy. This guy is a legend in this town. He's 25 years old. He just brought us to the finals. Are you out of your goddamn mind? That should have been the conversation. So I don't blame Nico Harrison nearly as I blame Patrick Dumont, because he's the governor or whatever they want to call it of that organization. He should be the one blamed for this. Don't you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, look, ultimately the owner is the one that signs off on this. How did he think this was a good idea? How did he not talk to more people with a basketball sense and be like, should we be doing this? This is what my GM wants to do. So complete asinine all around. And look, the owner can't fire himself, but that's a fireable offense if there ever was one.
For me, when it came down to Mike gave me this analogy actually the day that it happened. It was almost like you had texted me that morning. I remember. It's almost like saying that Aaron Judge is not going to stay physically fit, so we're going to move him now. You can't move Aaron Judge for anybody. Well, Aaron Judge and I think Luka Doncic was every bit as significant to the Mavericks as Aaron Judge is to the Yankee fan base. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's just an asinine logic. Oh, he's not in good shape. He went to the finals for you last year. Yeah, I mean, and look, the thing with Judge is obviously, he's 33 going into his age 34 season now. He's got a couple prime years left. Luka Doncic is what, 25, 26 years old?
At the time of the trade, he was 25 years old.
He hasn't even hit his prime yet. So like just every aspect of him being traded, it makes no sense and never will.
Yeah, I mean, you hear. I hate being a conspiracy theorist, but you hear all these things about, to get the Lakers back on. Like, I don't ever buy into any of that shit. But I have thought about this trade constantly since it happened. And I remember I was downstairs and my son was banging on the bedroom door, and he's like, "Dad, they traded Luka," and I'm thinking like, "Shit, they must have gotten like everybody." Like who? And then I'm like, "Wait, what?" Anthony Davis and 2 first-round picks, and like, are you serious? And I thought it was like one of these bullshit websites that he's always going on, thinking that they're real deal reports.
Yeah, now we have a virus on the computer, Max.
Yeah, I'm like, Jesus Christ. And then I'm like, shit, this really happened. Like, it's one of those things that you look back, like, it's worse than Seaver. I can't even think of a trade that's as crazy as in my life.
There's nothing close, honestly.
Yeah.
It's one of the most shocking trades ever. I remember when I got the notification from Shams. I was out at a bar. It was after the Knicks played the Lakers. It was like just after midnight, and I couldn't believe it. Like it didn't. I thought he got hacked. I think, most of us did.
Same thing.
It's really a surreal sports moment.
Jake, we appreciate your time so much. I want you to promote everything that you have to promote, and tell us a little bit about what's coming up for Jake. I mean, obviously the YouTube is killing it, people are loving it, but what's on the future? TV show? What do you want to do going forward?
Yeah, I'd like the Jets to actually, not lose. That'd be good for business.
That'll be good for business.
For me as a fan, I'm not even asking for the Super Bowl. Like 9-8 would feed family, seriously.
Yeah.
So that'd be nice. No, I'll continue doing the show every day. I'm on ESPN New York every Sunday from 8 to noon. I'll be doing a lot of fill-in during the holiday season coming up. So you'll hear me in on the morning time slot. I'll be in for Michael K this Friday from 1 to 3. So if you're a New York sports fan, you can follow the YouTube show, follow me on socials, and you'll see when I'm on the radio from there.
So I've been calling up sports radio since the late 80s, whether it be Michael K., Mike and the Mad Dog, Jody McDonald, Steve Summers. We've had a bunch of them on the show. But the next time you hear Hirsch from Valley Stream on the radio, that's me, buddy. And I will be calling you for sure. Yeah, I was on, like I said, with Michael K. 2 days ago. I was on with Boomer and Gio today. So I will, now that we're buddies here and now you're part of the Herschy and Keegs family, I will definitely reach out. We'll talk. And thank you so much for your time, man. We know you're a busy guy, and me, Tony, and Mike really appreciate you coming on tonight.
Anytime, guys. Hirsch, I'm expecting you to call in now. That's awesome. I appreciate it.
Yeah, bro. You said Sunday morning?
Sunday, 8 to noon. It's Mike T and I, and then I'll be in for DiPietro and Rothenberg a lot. I'm doing K on Friday, and I'll probably be doing a bunch of different of the time slots over the next couple of weeks here.
All right, you'll hear from me too. Thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it.
Anytime.
Keegan from East Meadow.
Keegs from East Meadow.
I love it. All right, Jakey. Have a good night. Thanks, pal. Take care.
You got it, guys. Thanks for having me.
Bye now. Wow, that was awesome, man. He is great.
He's awesome. Like, he's awesome.
He's, that's
why he's a pro. You can tell.
30 years old, and this guy is a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
He's doing the do, man.
And he agreed with a lot of the stuff you said, and I know you like that.
It's so rare. It's so rare in my life to have anyone do that.
I know, exactly.
But all right, let's go ahead and knock out some second set of sponsors, and then we got some cookie eating to do.
Yeah, we got cookies. We
got some cookie eating to do.
So
hold on a second. So our second set of sponsors start out with the great Eric Haft. Sunray Services. Now is the best time to convert to hybrid heating and cooling. Call them today at 631-231-5533 or visit them online at www.sunrayservices.com. I have had Eric Haft and Sunray Services at my house. I know that your family has.
I've had Eric Haft at my house.
You have, and we know a lot of people that have used them for their conversion of AC and heat. Please utilize them. They're really terrific. Let's see. Oh, one of our newest sponsors, Mikey. We are so proud to talk about North Belmore Collision.
Oh, yeah.
That's your boy Ami at 2734 North Jerusalem Road in North Belmore. 24/7. You can call up Ami at 516-785-4862.
The man doesn't sleep.
He doesn't sleep a lot. And we meet by accident. We work with all major insurance companies, and we do free estimates. Again, call Ami at North Belmore Collision at 516-785-4862. Then we have, of course, the fine folks over at Demolition Specialists. 1-855-RIP-OUTS, the number you call for demolition, dumpsters, and fence rental. Family owned and operator for over 30 years. They are a fully licensed demolition contractor. Tell us about a little meeting you had with little Scotty Avapsky
I ran
the other
into
day.
Scotty Avapsky on the last Tuesday. I think it was.
You were at
right before
Rico's
I was at
Pizza?
Rico's Pizza. I was walking out. He was bringing home some pizza, waiting to bring home some pizza for the family.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, Scott, there he is. And we spoke for a little while. It was
That's
great
it.
seeing him.
He's the
He's
best.
the man behind Demolition Specialist.
He certainly is, and you're the man behind Hershey and the Keegs Show.
That's right.
And last but not least, we have New York State licensed real estate person, Diane Keegan.
Oh, what a wonderful lady. I've
She
met
is
her.
a lovely lady. From All Island Estates Realty Corporation, you can call Diane directly at 516-458-1864 or email her at diane@allislandestates.com. If you're looking to rent,
Buy,
sell,
adopt,
foster,
lease.
you can call Diane. Make her your first call again. Diane at 516-458-1864 and do it with confidence. And we have a little bit of a special treat right now.
A sweet treat?
And when I say treat, I mean a treat. Hold on.
Mark brought in some sweet treats, and
So, Tony, can you go ahead and can you put this one of these up to the camera? So this is not a sponsor of ours, or at least not yet. But I was contacted by a local Levittown merchant. Her name is Megan Hartley, or Megan the Sweets is the name of her
Megan the
business.
Sweets, that's what they used to call me in college.
Yeah, Mikey the Sweets.
Mikey the Sweets.
And it's MEGHAN the Sweets, 3 words. I know that I follow her on Facebook. I believe she's on Instagram also. But she's a local baker, lives in Levittown, and she had reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you guys want to try my cookies on the air and,
I wanna try your
and see
cookies
how
on
it
the air."
goes?" And I said, "Absolutely, we'll do a little pop." And this is a nice little box that she gave us that she presented it in. Tony, I'll go ahead and thank you, Tony. Okay.
That's enough, Tony.
Okay, stop that. All right, hold on a second. And this is the box that she presented it in. I picked them
beautiful
up
box.
yesterday. I picked them up yesterday from her home, and they were hot. They came hot in a box.
Hot in a box,
and,
yeah.
they were, my first reaction was to be fair about it, to try
hot,
it on the
beautiful
air with you guys. But then I'm like, wait a second. I'm not going to be able to try it warm on the air, so I'm going to try one in the car.
Oh, you had a nice
and
warm, right?
I have to tell you.
And it was raining this morning, so it was a wet box.
Yeah, I have to tell
Oh,
you
my
though,
goodness.
you know me, like I'm not a big sweet fan. Like I like peanut butter cups, Reese's peanut butter cups.
yeah.
Me and Sue love Reese's peanut butter cups, but I took one of these cookies and I was just going to take a bite and leave the rest, and I downed it. And these are, I believe, are her 3.5 ounce double chocolate chip cookies.
These are thick.
They're
these are
girthy.
thick, girthy.
They're girthy.
cookies
So
in a box.
we're going to go ahead and.
Are they all the same flavor?
Yeah, they're all chocolate
All
chips. They've been in my car, so they're a little bit. But Tony, go ahead and have one.
Mr. Roach,
Give
Chris
Roach
Roach?
one. Yeah.
Oh, thank you guys.
Go ahead and you have one.
Are we doing a taste test
Yeah,
here,
we're
or do I
gonna
have to
do
wait
it.
till I
Yeah,
get home?
No. We're gonna do this because I told her we're
I'm
gonna try it on air.
excited.
And these are made with love. Megan the Sweets, MEGHAN the Sweets. You can reach out to her on Facebook. You can reach out to me. I know that one of my
Smells good.
friends
good.
reached out to her for Sweet 16 cookies, and they're doing she's doing an order for them in a couple of weeks. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh my,
It's really good.
dude, they're fucking ridiculous.
Oh, these are so good. They'd be perfect for milk.
Yeah. Roach has a point. A little milk. You didn't bring any milk. You son
She
of a
makes her own milk. Also, she has a cow.
I'm sure she does, Mark.
Not like that. No, I meant like she had her own cow and a
Oh, okay,
pasteurization. But
This
I
is
don't.
incredible. This is listen, chocolate chip cookies are chocolate, but this is like the
I don't
ultimate
know.
chocolate chip
Like
cookie.
for me, sometimes
It's loaded with chocolate.
Sometimes people like they rave about this crumble cookie place, and I can't stand it because I find it to be way too rich.
I'm not a fan. There's one right downstairs from my office. I can't stand it.
Yeah,
Really good cookie.
Like
Best
they,
chocolate chip cookie I've ever had in my life.
they hit the level of richness without making you be like, I can't eat any more of this. Like I can easily eat this whole
I
cookie.
can eat this whole cookie.
Yeah. So and notice how like it's like there's a nice little like almost like a little well doneness to the bottom.
I noticed that. Yeah, it's like a yeah. This is amazing, but I'm gonna save the rest. I'm gonna put it in the microwave for 7 seconds when I get home.
Yeah, you are.
That's right.
So
milk. It's amazing. Thank you, Megan.
So Megan the Sweets. I would say it's today's November 11th, I believe, and the holidays are coming upon us. So we have Hanukkah, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Kwanzaa, anything like that. Megan is equipped to deal with all those holidays and all of your orders. Yeah. My hunch is she's going to get backlogged, so go ahead and contact her.
Well,
but
now
again,
she is.
If you have
this is like a 9.2 review on Barstool Sports.
I was just going to say, so let's go ahead and typical Portnoy style. Everyone give a number using decimal points. Tony, go ahead. 10.
It's a rookie score.
It is a
but
rookie
it's good.
score.
But,
all right.
But I don't disagree.
Roach, as much as I don't like you being here during the show, go ahead and give out the score. What do you got?
No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a really good cookie. I give it a 9. It's really good.
A solid 9.
A solid 9.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
9.3.
So for me, the highest score that I've ever seen Portnoy give on the on that channel is 9.4, and I think this has to be 9.4.
This is
It really is good.
because you know what it is. You don't give it. He always says you don't give it a 10 because what if there's another cookie? Then you can't give it the 10.
But 9.4 is
I don't see how this can get any better.
It's outstanding.
Yeah.
And so now we need to find out what else Megan the Sweets has to sell there, bakery-wise.
Yeah. Milk.
And we'll find out. So thank you, Megan. She's a lovely young woman. She's a great baker, and we appreciate you.
It's awesome. Yeah.
So that was good. Okay. 9:43. We have about 17 minutes left, and we have a bunch of stuff to cover still. I guess we can really talk about the happenings of the past week. So let's just kind of go backwards a little bit to last Tuesday. We were supposed to have a show, and there was a lot of stuff going on at the club and construction and whatnot. Everything is good. The main room was open this weekend.
Packed, sold out shows in the main room tonight.
Little room. We were on a show together. Like, it really was great, but it almost, things work out for a reason, I guess, and I don't know exactly what they always are. And we talk about this. I talked about it on social media the other day. Mikey and his girlfriend, after a very long time, 8 years together, their relationship has come to an end.
I broke my leg in 10th grade. You want to talk about that too? Jesus Christ, Mark.
And hey, listen, we talked about.
Did it is? Yeah, we're transparent. Thing you talk about. Our lives,
I mean, listen, we all. I think all three of us shed a tear when Tony and Sally broke up 3 years ago, and for us it was more personal because we missed Sally being our producer. For Tony, it might have been a little bit different, but so that's kind of what's been going on with Mikey, and it was interesting on Tuesday morning. I texted Mike saying, hey, we still thought we had the show, so I texted him. I'm like, hey, do you want me to pick you up for the show tonight? And it didn't seem like a logical thing because I live about 3 blocks from the club and Mikey lives 5 miles from the club,
and you don't usually go out of your way.
And I don't usually go out of my way to do anything for anybody. But Mikey immediately texted back yes, which kind of like hit me a little bit. Like, it made me feel a little bit sad because the fact that he was saying, yeah, come swing by. Like, swing by is not really a thing that I would do to normally, but he definitely needed a little, a little something. And then when the show got canceled pretty last minute, I had decided that I was going to see if he wanted me to come over and talk a little bit. And then really at the same time, Tony had called me and said, hey, I'm closing up the studio because we can't do anything. Let's go see Mikey. And I'm like, well, I'm already going to see Mikey. And, so that's what we did. So me and Tony got in the car, and we drove over and we picked up Mike, and we just went to a Tiamo parking lot around the block from his house, and we bullshitted a little bit.
Yeah, and immediately went into all my problems, right?
So it was a weird thing. So this was kind of the funny part of the story. what happened was, and listen, I have a little regret over it, I guess, in retrospect.
As my life is shattered into pieces.
So I don't know how this really happened. And this is not a bit, or this is really what happened, but we were outside, me, Tony, and Mike, and it was actually nice out. We weren't freezing or anything, so we could bullshit. And I would say, like, for a half hour straight, I went into some of my own shit.
Yeah,
and which, in the scheme of things, was not nearly, we're not even going to talk about what it was. It's not even important.
No, it's not
compared
important,
to what,
but the whole time I'm just like, I'm like, the whole purpose of this, and me not just staying home and wallowing in pity, is because you wanted me to talk about my problems.
I don't know what got into me. It's not like me.
You literally did 30 minutes.
I think I went 30 easily, and then I was like, shit. Like, in my mind, I was like, we gotta let this guy talk.
Because I'm sitting, I'm like, yeah. Sounds bad, Mark. And it was so
inane bullshit.
It was such a
it's
stupid
bullshit
thing.
It wasn't anything
I'm
important.
like, yeah, Mark, I feel terrible for you.
It was just so dumb. And then I kind of like got my wits about myself, and I was like, shit, we really came here for a reason. And I think even Tony was looking at me like, shut the fuck up already. Like, let's talk about it.
So at least when I started telling you about my problems, at least you let me keep going.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Oh, no, there was an interruption. As soon as I started pouring my heart out, Mark gets a phone call. I don't care if it was Stacy, Max, the girls. I don't care if they're on fire. You don't answer the phone.
Yeah.
He answers the phone.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a human being. It was an automated call from Optimum.
Yes, it was.
Telling him that his appointment was confirmed for the next day. And you didn't even... He listened to the whole thing.
I did.
You listened to the whole thing.
Well, you know what it was? Because I really wanted to get this fiber optics taken care of. But the funny thing was, like, in my mind, it's playing out like this is the funniest scene in Curb Your Enthusiasm history, because you literally started, like, you had a good 30 seconds momentum going.
Yeah.
And then I was like, shit, hold on one second, Mike, it's Optimum.
Hold on, it's Optimum.
You're like, who?
Not hold on, it's Max, and he's terribly injured.
So it was Optimum, and you know what it was? They were just asking for my confirmation that they can come tomorrow, the following day, which they did.
Yeah. Thank God. Thank God Max can play Roblox.
But I can certainly Max can play his Fortnite now.
Yeah.
And so we did eventually let Mikey talk the talk, and he's just working through it right now. We're not going to kind of dig deep. There's no. This is not a situation where we're going to be bad mouthing anyone. We still have good feelings all around, and
like you said, I got it's been a week. It's been a rough week.
Yeah,
it's hard. They always say like it's almost harder than somebody that you love dying.
Yeah,
because now you're grieving somebody who's still here.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm sorry, Roach is fucking crying now.
I wish he still wasn't here. But go ahead.
You're grieving somebody who's still here,
and
that makes it so much harder.
Because
all day you think I'm like they're right there. They can come back.
Yeah.
And
it's been it's funny. A lot of people have been reaching out to me and reaching out and how you're doing and stuff like that, and. It's funny, like, we're comics, and Mike and I joke every day, all day for the past many years. So dealing with you in this serious way, watching you cry, watching you be in a place that you've never been is hard for me, someone who cares about you so much. And, you've done okay the past few days. I'm proud of you.
No, I haven't.
Well, you've done okay not bothering me.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So I speaking of being proud of you, though, you were on a comedy show this past weekend, and you happened to be on the comedy show with your ex, or whatever you want to refer to her as. And
I still don't, because
it's a tough word to say, but and I came down to show some support, and Tony did as well, and I actually wound up on the show, which was kind of crazy, and I will tell you, and I told Tony this, that I was really concerned that your set was going to be a fucking disaster just because of your emotions, because comedy is a very mental thing, and if you get something stuck in your head, it could fuck your whole setup, all 10, 15, 20 minutes of it.
And there's nothing that's been stuck in my head for over a week.
That's
now.
right.
Like, that's all that consumes me.
Yeah.
Every single day. And like 14 years, I've never had anxiety before going on stage. And I was just riddled with anxiety.
You were. You definitely were, and so I obviously watched every single set, hung on every word, and Tony and I were next to each other, and I was goddamn so fucking proud because this motherfucker went out and he knocked it out of the park. Like it was a killer set. Like he fucking killed, and it was the little room. It was 90 people, or 80, whatever it was. But and it's not always the easiest room. You don't have a lot of give in a room like that. But man, he had them, and he did some new material, and man, I was just proud of you from a comic standpoint. Proud of you as my friend, proud of you as someone who I've watched suffer this past couple of weeks, and that's something that you can never. That day will never be taken away from you. That was really a significant thing. And, listen, man, we don't know what the future is going to hold. And I only want what's best for you. And so does Tony. And hopefully in the days ahead, things become a little bit easier for you.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean,
Yeah.
I want it to work out.
Yeah.
That's all I want in my life.
Yeah.
It is like a lot of people have been talking to me. I have great friends. I've been getting phone calls. I don't like talking about serious stuff.
Right.
Ever.
Yep.
I never do. But my friends have offered to donate their time to me, and I've appreciated that. So I've been taking them up on it.
Yeah.
So they say you got to move on. You got to do that. I don't want to move on.
Right.
I don't want to ever picture a future where I'm not. I don't get to kiss that person ever again or wake up in the morning with that person. So
Right.
it's just I don't want him. Nobody will ever be that person. I've everybody that knows her, that all my friends have. They know her from being around.
Yeah.
They don't see the amazing person that I've seen for 14 years.
Yeah.
She's an amazing mother, just
Yeah.
kind, thoughtful. If I didn't bring lunch to work, she would drop it off to me. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to ever picture her dropping lunch off to somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah, and I hope that for you, and certainly we have love for her too, and we want the best for everyone.
Loves her. She's amazing.
Yeah, so
I'm willing to do anything
that
needs to be done.
In the days ahead, I like I said, one day at a time, and what you said is very, very poetic as far as not wanting to picture your life going forward without that person, and some people have told you about moving forward. And one of the things that I had said in conversation with your mom is that I don't think he should move forward. I don't think that you should be moving forward yet. It's too early. It's too raw. It's too fresh. You have to be ready.
I thought you were going to be with forever.
Yeah.
Like, there was never any doubt in my mind that we'd always be together.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't want to speak in hypothetics, and I don't want to put the ball ahead too far, but to the idea and the assumption that it's okay for you to go ahead and move forward is really it's a big leap that you're not there yet, and maybe you will be there someday. Maybe you won't have to be there, but today is less than 2 weeks. It's a one day at a time thing. We got to keep you going, keep you happy, but just know that I'm proud of you. Your mom is, your dad is, Tony is, and we're here for you, brother, and we'll just keep on pushing. That's it.
I'm lucky to have all you guys. You guys have really been awesome these past 2 weeks. Roach has been hanging out here because we're gonna go grab an appetizer afterwards and talk about some stuff.
Oh no, it's interesting. I
I
never got any invite about that, which is weird, but all right.
No, you're more than welcome.
See, I was waiting for that. No, I'm good.
I never ever thought I would fucking.
We'll go to across the street.
Go across the street.
I'm good.
Grab a little bite to eat.
No,
But
you guys talk it
I
out.
never thought I would cry on this show.
Yeah.
Ever. And, I think you have. I know Tony has.
Yeah.
Stabile's been on here. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what a bunch of faggots.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, this is real life. We this is not an act, what we do up here.
Yeah.
This is who we are.
And this has been me for 2 weeks. This is what I do every day, all day.
We did have a good laugh the other day, just to kind of make a lateral move here. I told you about this, and you got a good laugh over it. And So, Tony does his show every single day, Knock 'em Dead Comedy, and there's different guests, and one day it's Rosie, and one day it's Diane Fogarty, and another day it's Jeff Skelzy, and I'm sorry I'm doing that. But Friday, Tony didn't have any guests. He was just doing the show by himself because Rosie was out of town. And hold on a second. So, listen, sometimes I'll just turn it on because I love Tony. I think he's great at what he does, and I love listening to his voice, and I think the show's good. And I just happened to randomly turn the show on. I swear, there was no method to my madness. I turn it on, and I don't even know who the guest is on the phone, but I assume that it's Tony's very close friend, John Rusiello, who lives in Florida, who is not been in the best of health, and we pray for him all the time, and we love John. And I don't think that I'm listening to the interview or the conversation for 30 seconds, maybe 20 seconds, and I hear Herschy and Keegs, those two fat bastards. And I'm like, what?
I never met this guy. I never spoke to this guy.
I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, what did I just turn on? I'm like, fat. I'm like, I lost 35 pounds. He lost 80.
I lost 90 pounds in the last, You son of a bitch.
I'm like, what, fat bastards?
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, I never even met this guy. I'm like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
So the funny thing was, I called Tony, and listen, the truth is this.
Yeah, rest in peace, though.
No, he's still okay.
No,
he's still okay.
really?
Yeah, he's still okay. But this is a very interesting thing that happens in the world of. It's almost like hecklers who are not comics think that they can do certain things at shows because it's a comedy show. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And
Mike Keegan is a comedian, but he's not a comedy show.
That's right.
So you don't.
Thanks. You know what I was going to say. So Chris Davis, who's
exactly.
Chris Davis used to say something that used to make me laugh, but it was really true. Chris Davis, who was on the comedy scene for a long time. I don't think he is anymore.
He used to say, "Whose vomit is this on my shirt?" That's what he used to say a lot.
Chris Davis, who I always liked very much, and he was a very funny comedian. I don't think he's on the scene anymore. I don't even see him on social anymore, but he used to do a lot of jokes about his drinking, okay? And then you'd randomly... you get people on social media who were not comics taking rips at him and calling him names regarding his drinking and stuff like that. And he used to say every time, Chris Davis tells jokes about drinking. Chris Davis is not a drinking joke.
Yeah, exactly.
Meaning, like, you have to, earn your chops a little bit to do that. A little bit of a different situation with Rusiello. He's Tony's buddy. He didn't mean anything badly by it. But I was just like, the timing of it.
It's like, you don't even go here.
Right.
Why are you sitting at this table? You don't sit at this
but
table.
you know what? I think
God bless.
For a guy like that who's going through a hard time in life for a while, that was a little bit of a moment for him to feel like, hey, I'm part of the team by calling these two guys.
So he wants to take shots at me while I'm going through a hard time in my life.
I don't think he knew that you were going through a hard time.
No, I'm kidding.
So no hard feelings, at least from me with John. Keegs is in a different situation, but don't do that again, okay, buddy? So that was that. We covered the cookies. I have a bunch of other things to talk about, but we ripped through that hour, so we'll just go ahead and save it for next week. Next week we're scheduled.
I'm not here next week.
What?
I told you.
What is the?
I told you I'm not here next week.
You did?
I did.
Apparently we're not here next week. We're finding out.
Am I gonna have to go back in my receipts and check this out?
This is news to me. I saw the December dates that you're not going to be here.
Right,
Tomorrow's
today, but
tomorrow's news to me.
This probably a week, maybe like 2 weeks ago.
Bet you
$1.
Hold on a second. Let me just double check.
This sounds a little fishy to me.
And I do believe you actually did. You were working on scheduling somebody, and I apologize. And you said that person did not. The date was not cemented. So you were like, okay, we won't worry about it.
Yeah.
The math isn't mathing
right,
here.
because I just looked here and I saw that I changed that person. So yeah, I think we're good.
Right.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Next week, actually, I don't know.
You're going to London for the afternoon.
No,
He's going to have lunch in Greece.
Yeah, he's going to go have some feta cheese in the Mykonos Islands, and he'll be back by the evening.
A movie that my son worked on is premiering in Belmore.
Oh shit!
So I'm going to see it.
And
But
you
it
have to-
stars.
You really have to be there.
Well, I'm actually. Well, yeah, I'm supporting my son.
You're a
kidding.
producer on
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
No, this is something else. I was
Okay.
I was an extra in it, but some of it was filmed right here at Cubs. It stars Travis Grant, as a matter of
Oh,
fact.
nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
You know
Cool.
what? If we're not doing anything, maybe I'll go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on down.
That's
It's
awesome.
It's
I
at
don't have a
Belmore. The
podcast,
Belmore.
So it's on the big screen at the Belmore Theater.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrific. Okay. Awesome. All right, Mikey boy, what do you have? You have this weekend on Long Island. You have
So Saturday night is Mike Keegan and friends right here in the Giggle Room, but I will not be there.
Yeah.
I will not be there, but Carla will be running the show. Carla Okerson will be running the show.
Okay.
Great comics on. Tom Yarabino, Rosie Fumara, a couple other people, and closing it out is my good friend Alyssa Phillips.
Killer.
She's a great comic
West
from
Coast
LA.
killer.
She's a regular at the Comedy Store in LA.
Yeah.
She's closing it out. She's in town for a couple days. I'm actually going to go see her Friday night. She's going to be at Rodney's in
Yeah.
the city. I am doing tomorrow. I'm making my musical theater debut in the Jackie Mason musical with Sheba Mason.
Oh.
This weekend.
I'm doing that. Yeah, I'm doing it tomorrow. It's a matinee at 2:00, and then this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I'm doing shows at the Triad Theater.
In the city.
So
yeah.
if anybody's in the city and wants to come
Dude.
see me in a musical,
Some of us have been in discussions about taking a trip this weekend.
it's cool.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun, man.
Great.
It'll be fun. So hope some people come out and
Yeah.
get your tickets though for Saturday night in the Giggle Room.
So-
Mike Keegan and friends without Mike Keegan.
Is that the? Is it considered like an off-Broadway type of thing? I mean, what is it?
Yeah, way off Broadway, but yeah,
No,
no,
but
it's
it's off-Broadway.
it's
It's
off Broadway.
off-Broadway.
I'm in an off Broadway play.
You
Yeah.
are. I mean,
Hell yeah.
anything that's not
Thank
Broadway
you.
is off-Broadway.
It's true. Yeah.
Very good.
So come see me in an off Broadway musical.
I love
on,
that. All right, Anthony, what do you got, buddy boy?
December 6th, you can see the three of us,
Yeah.
as well as Rosie and Kathy and Laura and a few other people right here in the Giggle Room.
Yeah.
And December 13th at McGuire's, you'll see Knock 'em Dead doing a holiday-themed murder mystery show.
Very good. And so I'll be
Thank
here December 6th. I'll be at the Brokerage December 4th. We will not be here next week. And that's my bad for thinking that we were. But thank you for watching. We appreciate you being here and click and follow and send Mikey your love. And if you have any passion for cookies and you want the best cookie, reach out to me or Megan the Sweets for your chocolate chip cookies. We love you. We will see you guys in 2 weeks. Adios.
Thank you.